now, ladies and gentlemen, is a former general manager in the NFL. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. He's an author, a TED talker, a podcast host, a live show host, and an email newsletter, the Daily Coach founder. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Lombardi. Lombo,
thanks.
I don't know if you've heard the discussion about cover 2, if you would like to address that. And then also Gonzalez being one of the only guys, seemingly of recent memory, that will just go with the number 1 receiver all over the field.
Well, I mean, I think, look, let's go to the cover 2 thing. If you're going to play cover 2, and Chuck knows this as well as anybody, you're in a 7-man front. And so that means you're a gap short. That means somebody has to 2-gap within the 7-man front. And just because you play 2 side safeties doesn't mean you're giving up the run. I mean, Belichick played cover 2 all the time in New York with Lawrence Taylor, but they were 2-gap, and they understood how to 2-gap. I think part of this new collective bargaining agreement is we've taken away the physicality of practices and training camp, and so the art of run fits, where you know where you fit, whose gap do you have, where do you control the gap horizontally and vertically. There's 2 gaps, right? If you run up the field like the Eagles were doing on Monday night, you know, you're going to be behind the quarterback and the ball is going to come out and run. So if you want to play cover 2, you got to play a 2-man, you got to play a 7-man front, you got a 2-gap. Somebody's got to be in charge of the 2-gap. Somebody's got to disengage from the lineman and do that. I think, to me, the idea to get rid of cover 2, I couldn't even understand why that would come up. I don't even know why you would think that. I don't think that's.
More excitement. More excitement. It's coming from a good place. I think it's coming from.
It's not excitement. I mean, look, they've had cover 2 for a long time. I mean, the problem isn't cover 2. The problem is we don't practice. We don't practice. Bryce Young didn't play in any preseason game until the 3rd one, and he was viewed as being perfect. Everything was fine. Now he got benched. Maybe if we practiced the passing game, maybe if we had physical practices, we'd have a better passing game. Maybe if we weren't so scared to have injuries in training camp, we might have better passing games. That's the problem. Teams aren't getting ready because the season's too hard. There's no physicality. It has nothing to do with the coverages. Cover 2's Bud Carson invented cover 2 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, now they changed the rules. Your guy, Bill Polian, changed them because he didn't want you to jam receivers, but we won't get into that at this time.
We should.
Bill Polian is a Hall of Fame general manager.
You weren't allowed to touch the receivers.
Back
in the day, you could. So, I don't think it has anything to do with coverage. It has everything to do with execution. Everything to do with execution. And the execution has not been very good, like it always is in September. You'd have to go back to 2006. This is the lowest scoring 2 weeks of the first season since 2006.
Leader in pass yards.
That's just the way the game is.
Hey, leader in pass yards, this stat came out, has 500 and some. And this is obviously the lowest leader in pass yards that the NFL has seen over the first 2 games in maybe ever, I don't know, since they're keeping track pretty much. This is the lowest amount of pass yards. So it's very much a transition into a run league, which leads into field goals being a necessity to take, which goes back to your point on Monday night. You were pissed about that. But I think people need to understand that this is the reality of the current league right now. I think the decision by Sirianni was last year's decision, 2 years ago decision, where it was field goals, we aren't having it. We are scoring touchdowns. If we don't score touchdowns, we're going to be behind. Now it's 7 for 7s are happening for kickers, they're winning. 6 for 6s are happening for kickers, they're winning. Niners have Moody go 6 for 6. It's kicking is very, very important right now. Is this going to be all season, you think, because of the lack of practice, or do you think they'll be able to keep up? You think they'll be able to figure out?
No, I think we'll get better. I mean, look, the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes, has his lowest quarterback rating of his career right now. And you think that's going to stay the same? Of course not. He's going to get better. Now, they practice a lot, but it's hard. You don't have 2-a-days. You're missing practice. You're missing continuity with players. We've got a whole lot of things that have to get worked out in September. It has nothing to do with coverage. It has everything to do with timing. Look, the Jets are going to play tonight. This is their 3rd game in 11 days. They probably haven't practiced at all. Let's just go through it. The Jets last year averaged 5.1 yards per play as an offense. This year they averaged 5.1 yards per play as an offense. They've gained 15 more yards in 2 games than they did last year. Think about that. Now, we know they weren't any good last year. They didn't have Aaron Rodgers, but a lot of that is because they can't practice. You play Monday night. You can't practice Tuesday. You're not practicing Wednesday. Thursday, you're probably going to have a light practice. Now you got to play Tennessee. Now you're playing Monday night. You can't practice. So you can't get in any rhythm, any continuity, any physicality. That affects your football team. That affects execution. Football is a game of execution. The Saints aren't having any problem executing. They're not having any problem with cover 2.
Rashid Shaheed actually split it. Rashid Shaheed actually
they're getting over the top. I think, to me, it's an overreact. Look, I love offensive football, but The Saints are under center. I think the bigger issue about our league right now is the copycat. Lamar Jackson needs to be under center. He's out there in shotgun. Derrick Henry's he would run bootlegs as well as anybody, but they don't put him under center. Like, we've just become a copycat league. Get the quarterback. Derek Carr's been under center more than any quarterback in the league. Two-back runs. You talk about not being able to fit and cover two with runs. How about trying to fit a two-back run? Nobody in the league, Chuck, nobody in the league knows how to fit two-back runs anymore. It's horrible because they don't practice against it.
And you would think Patrick Ricard, Derrick Henry, that could be a potential weapon for them. Tonight for the Jets, Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. You think they're going to go heavy, two-back? You think that that happens with the Jets, or how do you think they attack tonight?
No, I think they're going to run what they typically always do. They're going to run their scheme. I think, to me, what the Patriots do is more interesting. What will they do with Gonzalez? See, if I were the Patriots, I would put Gonzalez on Lazard, and I would double Garrett Wilson the whole game. I would double him the whole game and take him out of the game and say to Aaron, okay, you do something. Now, look, the Patriots are hard to run the ball on. I mean, last week, Seattle couldn't run the football on them to save their life. They couldn't do it. Cincy couldn't do it. This front's good. This front's really good. And so it's going to be a challenge. Look, one thing about New England, they've controlled the clock, right? They've had 75 rushes in two games. I mean, they want to run the football. They can't play from behind. That's the other problem. A lot of these teams, they play from behind. They can't catch up. It's too hard. I mean, how about, Caleb Williams? Look, have you seen his numbers? Bryce Young got benched. And Caleb Williams had the worst percentage of any quarterback since 2016 against the blitz. A lot of these guys just don't have a run game to help them. Chicago averages less than 3 yards a carry.
Listen, I'm excited to hear those stats, okay? Because we need that with DeForest Buckner being out for the Indianapolis Colts. Mm-hmm. But let's stick and stay with tonight's game, and then the boys will ask you about happening around the NFL, rookie quarterbacks struggling as a whole, and how much they can learn week to week and how that whole process will go. But whenever you talk about the Patriots and what you said about controlling the clock and yada, yada, Jerome Mayo comes from the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel like he has fallen too far off of it with the way they've been able to stay in games and win games thus far this season. And Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Lomba, how do you feel about the first 2 weeks of the New England Patriots when it comes to like a coaching standpoint? I saw there's some rankings out there. Who knows who it's by? But they had Alex Van Pelt pretty high up as far as play callers go. And then when you just think about the culture that they're trying to start here, what do you think about what he's been able to do? And obviously with, the offensive line troubles being what they are and the left tackle and the left guard being out tonight, how do you see the Patriots going about, the Jacoby Brissett situation as far as, hey, we need you to push the ball down the field, but also at the same time, you're getting hit like 2 seconds after you snap the football?
Yeah, I think what Mayo has done a really good job of is saying this is who our team is, right? They do not want to get into a shooting match. They want to control the clock. They've held the ball for 33 minutes in 2 games per game, 33 minutes. They've only played 26 minutes of defense. You want to play good defense, play less defense. And that's what they've been able to do. And the Patriots have been very effective. They've only given up 9.1 yards per catch, and that includes a 56-yard touchdown pass to Metcalf. So they've been very good in stopping the run, and they've been very good at being able to play from in front. I mean, that's been the key to their team. You can't do this if you play from behind. And they've done a great job of establishing the run, getting Stevenson the football early in the game, getting that lead, and making the other team play from behind. And I think that's going to be the essence. To me, the script, if you're Aaron Rodgers, you're sitting in the locker room, look, we've got to score on the first 2 drives. We got to go up 10-0 after the end of the first quarter. We've got to force the Patriots to play a different game. A lot of football is like basketball in the sense of what style do you want to play? How do you want to play it? You hear college basketball coaches all the time talk about it. Well, if this game's in the 60s, we win. If it gets in the 80s, we can't. That's the NFL today. If you can play a style like the Patriots want to play, that's good. If you have to come out of the style, not so good. Like Tennessee last week, they play a style. Now, of course, they turned the ball over, but to me, that's the key to the Patriots. And you got to give the coaching staff credit. Part of the job of a head coach in preseason, this is a big part of the job. This is what I think we miss a lot of too, Pat, is to figure out what is my team? How do I have to play to win the game? What do I need to do to win the game? And I think Mayo's done a really good job of that.
We have an interview with Coach Tom Moore that we recorded earlier today that we'll be running in the second hour after Blake Shelton will join us at 1:10 Eastern time. And then Coach Tom Moore's interview will run after that. Boy, you should hear him talk about exactly what you just said. You know, it's not about what am I? It is what are we? You know, that is basically what the conversation is. And those who can take advantage of that the most seemingly always win. I'm excited to see Aaron Rodgers because it looked like in the second half last week. Starting to feel it.
Yeah, clicking.
Starting to feel it again. And if he starts feeling it again, he is like in the moment, what's the best situation guy. That's why the play clock is always near 1 or 0 because he is trying to figure it out at all times. Going to be a constant chess match with a great defense led by Gerard Mayo and that New England Patriots. I love the way Coach Mayo is handling everything.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean,
are you on the sideline tonight?
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. I did get the call. I need to get in there. Inside linebacker Juwan Bentley's hurt, so they want me kind of to try and figure out how to get the grit going with the other backup middle.
So you're a grit supplier tonight at MetLife?
Yeah, I am actually. I've been appointed director of SALT. I will be there.
DOS,
salty dog.
DOS. Yeah, just rev them up a little. That's all. Trying to bring the the Indiana feel of both the softness that I get to watch here with the Colts, but also with the heart that beats in this city as well. That's why they need me. I mean, my team needs me.
So what? Why are we dressed like this?
It's game day, baby. I mean, I feel disrespectful to Coach Mayo that my hair is down, to be honest. I feel like I should have put it in a bun. But, yeah, it's game day. I mean, we need this one. It's week 3. This is kind of win or go home.